People who have accidentally sent nudes to the wrong person. What was the aftermath? Recipient here. In the Nokia days of the early 2000s, I received a one-word text from one of my hockey buddies. SX. I knew it was for his wife. But I replied okay. But I am pitching. D. He laughed. Still remind him to this day. I didn't send it. But I was the recipient. A friend from college sent me a pic of her in her underwear where she was pulling down the front of her panties quite a lot while sitting on her bed. Was meant for the guy she was seeing at the time. I didn't make a big deal out of it. She was mortified. I told her not to worry and that I didn't save it or anything and that mistakes happen. Was quite the SI photo. My brothers and their hockey team were having a drink in a bar when one of them received a dick pic from a number he didn't know. The poor OP received 20 dick pics from 20 different people within 5 minutes. It wasn't an accident, but a prank that my friend and I thought would be funny to pull on another mutual friend. The prank was to send a picture of your balls to mutual friend but make sure they didn't know what it was. So I take a close up of my balls, making sure that I shave beforehand, with the perfect lighting, and send it to the mutual friend. The next day he asked why I sent him a picture of a beige rug. A year ago I had the day off work. Thought it was a good idea to send my girlfriend a dick pic because I was bored at home and wanted company. Anyways, I sent the photo via social media and accidentally sent it to a group chat that she started with 2 other friends. Whoops. They all thought it was hilarious and still laugh about it. Running joke now as they regularly send me pictures of themselves holding penis-shaped items in a SI pose. I accidentally shared a dick pic on Snapchat with one of my best friends. It was intended for my GF. My friend, knowing full well I had sent it to him by mistake, sends me his own dick pic out of solidarity, saying, "It's only fair if I show you my dick now." I was super embarrassed about my mistake, but found it hilarious at the same time. Especially since he was so cool about it. Still wish I hadn't seen his dick though. He probably feels the same way. Accidentally sent a pic to a friend that was meant for the guy I was dating. He replied, "I assume this is meant for other guy." Shti. It's cool. But before you send one to him, tone down the lipstick a bit and sorta mutt up your hair so it looks like SX hair. you.I okay. I accidentally sent a pic of my tits to a co-worker instead of a friend. I was in the process of tattooing them, hence why a friend was supposed to get the pic. He was always happy to see me after that. This was before Snapchat was super popular, so I'm sure he has it saved. I was a nude model for a time. Brought my portfolio into work one time to show a co-worker that I was good friends with. Then was a total idiot and forgot it at work. I closed that night and opened the next morning, so it shouldn't have mattered. Except one of my managers started an hour before I did, and she found the portfolio and looked at it. She left a note in the book saying something like, "I told you not to do that." Except it was pretty lighthearted, and we laughed about it together. So nothing really happened except a bit of a laugh and a bit of embarrassment. Was S-ting with a ref buddy and talking to a new friend. I took a pic of me naked and the new friend messaged as I was about to tap back to the other convo. So I ended up on his convo instead. Should have looked more carefully, but I didn't. So I sent the pic. He said haha okay. OP has put accidentally in quotations. But I legitimately sent a picture of my boobs to the wrong contact on my list. A platonic friend. He replied thank you and it was never spoken of again. Quotations instead of brackets. One of my best friends entered into a long distance relationship in college. As a result, that involved a lot of naughty messages and snaps back and forth with her boyfriend. I got one of those messages one day. She was topless in the bathroom taking a picture of her in the mirror wearing a black thong. No boobs or anything. Just her and her butt in a thong showing her back with some cheek. I did what any guy in my position would. Stripped down to my black boxers. Wedged it up my butt. and recreated her picture as best as I could, and to my credit it was damn close. I was sending nudes to a friend, girl, to pre-approve which ones I should send a guy I was seeing. Accidentally sent it to a male friend with the question, "Is this hot?" He responded, "Yeah, I guess." Once I realized I f'd up, I kept apologizing. He found it funny and sent it to my friend I was supposed to send them to with the message, "Bring donuts, wants to know if this is hot." We are all pretty good friends, so in the end we just had a laugh about it. Not nudes per se, but I think it still applies. My family has a weird tradition that started with cameras and moved on to cell phones, where we steal the camera phone and take a close-up picture of the crook of our elbows. Looks like a butt crack. Bonus points for lots of hair and sometimes a finger in the elbow butt. The tradition moved on to sending random elbow butt texts to cousins. I have a cousin named Mike and met a guy named Mike on OKC. I didn't use last names for some reason and sent a hairy elbow butt finger text to Mike on OKC instead of my cousin. He responded with a WTF. Not thinking. I said, "Oops. That was for my cousin." After I hit send, I realized sending a picture of what could be mistaken for a finger in my hairy butt to my cousin would be just a little weird. To the guy's credit, I never heard back from him after that. I started using last names and using OKC as a last name for people I met online after that. I'm calling it a win. Sent to my older sister, who proceeded to tell my mother, which earned me 6 months of being grounded. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why you don't date a woman whose name is the same as you, sister. Alexa and Alexandria. My sister being the latter. Not the sender but the receiver. This was 2-3 years ago. Let me set the scene. It's nighttime. I'm chilling at home, playing Dark Souls. Here I am, having a good time when suddenly my phone buzzes. Obviously, I check it. It's a text from an unknown number, but a local area code. I open the text. It's a pair of tits. With the picture is a message. "How's that for an olive branch?" Now, not only do I not know the number, but I don't remember getting to the point of a relationship with anybody in which an olive branch was necessary. So I kindly message this person, "You probably shouldn't text that kind of stuff to total strangers." Got a reply. Fine. Be like that. So I tried leaving well enough alone, but the local area code on the number got my curiosity piqued. I do a Facebook search. We have 3 mutual friends. I message one of them, asking if she knew the number. Friend: "Yeah. That's my mom." "Why do you ask?" "Lol, she wasn't sending nudes, was she?" Me. Obligatory not me. But one of my best friends had a Snapchat account and he didn't understand it very well. He and his girlfriend, now his wife, would send each other SI videos. Well, he only had 2 other friends besides her and he forgot to make this post private. Those other 2 friends were his uncle and cousin. He took a video of himself jerking it in the shower and sent it to his uncle and cousin accidentally. They came over for dinner that night, which had been planned for quite some time. He said it was basically just silence the entire night. For like 2 hours. Until his cousin called him a jerk off. The whole table erupted in laughter as he died inside. Haha, I still think that sh*t is hilarious. My friend accidentally revealed an ass pic to me, so I just flashed her to make her feel less embarrassed about it. I accidentally sent my mate one over Snapchat. Lost my head when I realized what I'd done. Sending about 100 messages telling him not to open. Googling ways to delete unopened snaps, etc. Obviously being a great bloke, he screenshots it and continues to show people even now on nights out we go on together. Not a nude, but I accidentally sent a link to a SX wedge to my child's 4th grade teacher. It wasn't even from a site that it could have been passed off for medical purposes, it was a straight up SX shop. She never replied, so I don't have a great aftermath story, but our next encounter was super awkward. Oh sh*t, something I can actually share. This was a couple of years ago, but I was at home exchanging SI photos video with a girl I met the night before, and in the middle of all the S11ness I get a Snapchat from my best friend with just a random funny lucky photo, and I carry on with the girl and she wanted a direct photo of my dick, and of course as a gentleman I do as she wants and take the picture and just click the first in the list on Snapchat and press send. The moment I do so I see that it was not sent to the girl but my friend. I panic and try to get a hold of my friend. Text him on every social media I can think of saying don't look at the snap I just sent to you. It wasn't for you. But of course my idiot friend opens it anyway, and a couple of minutes later I get a video of him laying on the floor crying of laughter. Not quite the same. But early on in our friendship, like 4 days of knowing each other, a friend was trying to show me a dick pic a guy had sent her and instead held out her phone to show me a picture of a well-shaven vulva and vagina. It took me a few seconds of puzzlement before I asked does he have a vagina? She looked at it and instantly turned beet red. She had accidentally shown me the picture she sent him in return. She still feels mortified over it, but I found it hilarious. Reassured her she has a nice looking pudendum. She shouldn't be showing other people's nudes. I don't get that at all. If someone sends you a nude, show some respect and appreciation by not showing your friends. It wasn't a nude but a SXT. I wanted to send the screenshot to a friend but sent it to my family group chat. I deleted it, but 5 minutes later mom asked me what the pic was about. I managed to convince her I had no idea what she was talking about and it was probably a virus. My boyfriend and I were spending the summer long distance. So Snapchat nudes were SZOL frustration saviors. One night, I was SSing him and a pretty illicit boobs and undies pic gets sent to my coworker. Yes. Coworker. Male. No less. And new to my office. We had traded Snapchats to be friendly as he liked to share a lot of stories of his car. But now I had just sent him full shots of my naked breasts. Not exactly the precedent I wanted to set for a work relationship. I snapped him and immediately begged for him to ignore the pic and forgive me. I explained they were meant for my boyfriend and that I was an idiot. Thankfully, coworker was an awesomely chill dude and we never spoke of it again. We were pretty good friends until I moved states. Either way, for months I used a new Snapchat with only my boyfriend as a contact because I was mortified at the thought of SSing anyone by accident ever again. Thankfully, boobs have been safe ever since. Accidentally sent a nude to both parents. In a series of photos of my kids. They laughed hysterically. I made some awkward jokes at my own expense. And now I triple check to make sure I didn't accidentally click anything weird while scrolling to send pics. I accidentally sent nudes to everyone in my address book once. It was so embarrassing, but the envelopes and postage were really expensive. My nudes are all over the internet, and so when someone I used to date threatened to leak my nude pictures I thought it was pretty funny. Go ahead. Leak 'em. Oh no. Those horrible websites for nudes. Which terrible website specifically? So that we can all avoid them for your privacy. Send one to a Snapchat group consisting of 16 guys. Most embarrassing thing that ever happened to me, but luckily they're all pretty good friends and nothing really bad ever happened except for the occasional round of laughter every time it comes up. Had to tell one of my friends that it was definitely not funny to keep it saved, and everyone else agreed that they didn't want to see my junk every time they opened Snapchat. It really went better than expected the moment I realized what I had done, but while everyone laughed at me when in a group, most of my friends admitted privately that it might as well have happened to them. I've been the recipient from a coworker 3 times. My first name matches that of her husband. The third time I refused to delete them and she took me to HR. I said it had happened twice before and I was keeping them for evidence of SZOL harassment. HR told her to STFU. Stepsister sent back IO. That's it, I'm done. Sent nudes to my best friend, a guy as well. That was intended for my girlfriend while I was on holiday. Sent him a total of 76 messages. Including on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Texts, WhatsApp and calls, voicemails basically begging him not to open it due to my massive F cup that I explained. Said he got the messages and just skipped past it. Actually, my situation was reversed, but I'll share. My best friend had meant one for his current boyfriend. He was pretty drunk and his boyfriend and I share the same first name. We had a pretty good laugh about it until he sobered up the next morning and apologized about a million times. Not a nude of me, but I'd somehow rather it was. But I accidentally forwarded on a gif of a man shitting in his own mouth and eating it to my family's WhatsApp group. That wasn't a gold star move. Would not recommend. I somehow sent a string of Snapchats to a female friend that showed me violently masturbating. I was drunk and was trying to send them to my boyfriend and somehow clicked her name over and over again. A good 10-second long snaps. At least. As soon as I had realized I'd done it, I messaged her on Facebook and told her it was an emergency and that she was not to, under any circumstances, watch the Snapchats I had sent her. I told her exactly why. She asked how graphic it was because she's already seen my fan. I told her it would ruin how she viewed me, lol, and she proceeded to open them with great caution. I don't know if she watched them and I don't really care if she did. I'm just glad she read my warning before she opened them so she didn't think I was a class A weirdo. Sent nudes and a pretty descriptive BDSM fantasy to who I thought I was my girlfriend. My stepmom called a few minutes later saying, "Honey, I think you sent me something that wasn't meant for me." We agreed to forget about it, but now she asks me what I think my dad would like her to do. When she was 13, my sister's boyfriend sent a picture of himself to her while my dad had her phone. My dad went over there and I imagine that kid had a bad afternoon. I've sent one to a friend on accident. It was a video to top it off of me topless and it was meant for my boyfriend at the time. I sent a long string of do not open s, but he opened it anyway. Got pretty awkward after since it was also a dude who made advances on me in the past. I also accidentally posted a picture of my butt to my story. It got screenshotted and a lot of people saw before I checked my phone. I need to stop using Snapchat. I had some random stranger send me some pictures of herself in her revealing bedroom attire. She was confusing me with someone with the same name, and so said something like, "Haven't seen you in ages. Are you back in the UK? When can we catch up?" I felt sorry for her and politely replied and said, "Sorry, I think you've confused me with someone else. I've deleted your photos." She replied the next day saying I was always such a big joker and this time included nude pictures of herself. Not sent but received. A coworker wanted to share some music files with me and sent me home with a flash drive containing music. What she forgot was she'd used the same drive to transfer some pics and vids she'd made at the request of her FB at the time. Not just nudes, but stuff like her wearing goth makeup and smoking a cigarette, then blowing smoke at the camera, close-up of her peeing, etc. I didn't want her to accidentally share them with anyone else, so I told her as I handed the drive back. She was embarrassed, but we laughed it off. I told her I thought it was pretty cool that she was willing to indulge her FB's requests and not to worry about it. It never really affected our work relationship, as we've got a pretty open atmosphere office. I hadn't even thought about it for several years until I saw this ask. BTW. I don't send dick pics because no one's ever asked and I don't think most women want them, particularly when they haven't requested them. In a Snapchat group with 3 other people from work. 2 of them started hooking up and one night we all received a picture of the guy's dick. We are all still friends, he just earned the nickname name Snapchat. Accidentally sent a nude dick pic snap to a good friend when Snapchat was in its early days. Immediately got a message something along the lines of "Jesus Christ. I was just showing how the app works" to someone at work. I apologized and he laughed it off. He later that year secretly came out to me, said the pic was hot and we got jiggy. Result: